All right, guys, so in this video here, I thought I'd share a little bit more about myself to you guys, and maybe you guys might relate with some of these things. I'm not sure. I mean, you might not, okay? So I'm basically wanted to share my top 5 addictions that I've had in my life, and I've actually had more addictions than what I'm writing on this board, but some of them I won't share just yet. I probably will be sharing everything in the future of this channel, but some of them I'll just leave for later. These are the ones I'm going to talk about for now, and these are just the 5 addictions that come to mind that I do want to share, that I'm okay with sharing. So I'm going to share them with you guys, and let's take it from there. Maybe some of you guys are like, oh yeah, I do that too. Like maybe not. You know, I personally have a very addictive personality in general. So anyways, let's get straight into it. First one might be a little surprise to some people. So I was addicted to stuffed animals when I was younger, and it wasn't, I wouldn't consider it a normal type of addiction, okay? I had this little brown bear, okay? His name is Shantik, and I'm gonna show you guys him in a second. He's in my closet over here. I'm gonna show you guys though. But I had this little brown bear, and I would take him everywhere with me. When I say everywhere, I mean everywhere, okay? Every single where. So if I was in the living room watching TV as a child, this bear would be sitting right next to me, either on my lap or right next to me, okay? If I went to school and it was winter time and I can wear a jacket, he would be in my jacket pocket, so I can, look in my jacket and kind of, pet him when nobody's looking. That sounds insane, I know. But yeah, I used to do that. And I remember this one day, I was in a karate class, and it was my cousin's karate class, and I was just getting into karate. I must have been like 13 years old or something. And I had this little bear, and I remember like showing my cousin, I'm like, look who I bought with me. Like, I was so excited. And he's just like, what do you do? Like, why did you bring this bear here? And it was just funny. Like, I just randomly just thought of that right now. I'm gonna show you him in a second. And he's been through a lot, he's been through quite a lot of like surgeries, like, cause he's been like, some of the close people in my life, when you're younger and you care so much about something, people just wanna just mess with it and just like kind of like put you through pain, and like, so they kind of like ripped him up, and several different people did. So I'm gonna show you like what he looks like now. Let me go grab him. So this is what he looks like now. I know some of you guys might be like, this is insane. This is a good side. This is like this is his sexy side here. And then we look at this side, woof, this guy's beat up. But it kind of, resembles me in a certain way, because like, no matter what this guy's been through right here, like, he stands through it all. Like, he just keeps taking the punches, keeps taking the blows, and he's still alive. Look at him now. He's got no eyes. He's missing his eyeballs. There's nothing there. Half of his fur is basically missing. But I still love this guy. It's like a sentimental kind of thing, Like, I grew up with him, and I was addicted to him for so long. And I remember a time, my parents. This must have been like, I was honestly like, probably like 17 or 18 years old, which is crazy to say. But I was probably like 17 or 18 years old, and they tried to finally, because they saw that I had some kind of unhealthy addiction to this animal. I call him an animal, he's a little bear. I had some sort of unhealthy addiction to this thing. And so they one day decided, like, this is enough. Like, this kid has got to grow up. He's got to grow up. So they took him away from me. They took him and they stole him and they hid him, or like, I don't know what they did to him. And I remember I came home from school, maybe it was like high school, like I was probably like a senior in high school, I don't remember, 16, 17, 18 years old. And they basically just like told me, like, I was looking for my bear as soon as I came home, and they basically told me, he's gone. I was like, what do you mean he's gone? What are you talking about? You're like, oh, we decided to take him away, you're too attached to him, like yada, yada, yada. And the tongue lashing I gave my parents that day is something that they'll probably remember, for the rest of their lives. Like, if I brought it up to them again, they would remember it forever. Within like an hour, they had no choice. They had to give me back the bear because I was literally about to kill them. I was literally about to kill them, okay? And, but I got him back, like, and then like, I was still addicted to the bear, you know, I wanna say, you know, even until, I guess like maybe 20, 21. I don't remember exactly when I started like just leaving him in the closet and just like, but yeah, it was a long time, like throughout my whole childhood. This was the guy. I'm gonna put him away for now, and we're just gonna jump straight into my, second addiction that I had, and like this one is one that probably a lot of people can relate to. And you know, when I was younger, in my younger years, like probably between 0 and 21, again, like around those years, I used to always look down while I was walking. A lot of people made fun of me for doing that. I usually used to look down. My head was always down when I was walking. I never like pulled my shoulders back and walked straight. You know, my head was always down because I was looking at the cracks, you know, in the sidewalks, and I didn't want to step on any cracks. And I'm not sure what it was, if it was like just a game in my mind where I was just like, I just really don't want to step on the cracks. But basically it caused me just to always have my head down, and people would just, you know, just, I guess, make fun of me for that. Like, why is your head always down? Like, what are you doing? And I don't think I ever told anybody. I was just looking at the cracks. I don't want to step on the cracks. But that's a really simple one. The next thing, number 3 is, I was really addicted to baseball and hockey and basketball. All right, those were the 3 sports. You know, for hockey, I was a massive New York Rangers fan, and to the point where I would watch every single game. I couldn't miss a game. It would be impossible for me to miss a game in my childhood. And a baseball fan, a diehard Yankees fan. I used to watch every single game. I don't care what time it was. I would watch the game, and it didn't matter what was going on. My friends were playing basketball. There's this, that going on. I didn't give a rat's ass about any of that stuff. I was watching the game. I was paying attention to the stats. I was addicted to all the stats. I'm like, this guy's batting average is this, his RBIs, home runs, whatever it may be. And I had a long stint where I was just like very attached to watching every single game, being there I just wanted to, I thought I bought like positive vibes. So if I watched it, the team would win, you know? Yeah, and like my dad and my parents always gave me shit about it. They were just like, why are you watching this game? Like, all your friends are out playing and stuff. I'm like, I need to watch this game, you know? So I really paid attention to sports in a big way when I was younger. And this is something that gradually kind of went away, I want to say. Again, like all 3 of these things, I think, you know, if I'm remembering correctly, they kind of gradually went away in my young 20s. And the 4th thing, which is still a part of my life right now, is movies. So, and I'm not talking about like addiction to movies in general. I'm talking about, you know, there are some movies that I've probably seen like 50 or 60 times. You know, for some people hearing that, they might think it's absolutely insane. But for me, it's just like I get joy in watching some of the same movies over and over again, especially if it's a movie that I really thoroughly enjoy. I'll just watch it over and over again. And again, like my parents would give me shit about it. My brother would give me shit about it. My dad would come home from work, like, you watching this movie again? It'd be like, because I watched it the day before and the day before and the day before, like twice. And like, I would just watch the same movies over and over and over and over and over again. And this is still something that I do until this day, where I just watch the movies just nonstop over again. Like, for example, like this month, I've probably watched like Shutter Island, I want to say maybe like 10 times. Like, I don't actually count, obviously, how many times I watch it, but I watch it a lot. I mean, there's certain movies that I just really like. I have like a list of like, I don't know, like 15 movies that I can run through over and over and over and over and over and over again. I think it's like it's a way of relaxing for me too, where I watch it and I can just shut my brain down. I don't have to think about it. I'm just watching. It feels good. I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. And like the craziest part is, you would think not, but even when I'm on like the 27th time I've watched the movie, I still pick up on small little details that I might have missed the first, 26 times. Where I'm just like, wow, I just realized this person on the side was talking about this, like in this scene. And like, it's interesting to me to rewatch it and like re-understand it and see things in a different kind of way. Like, you know, I love also watching movies where I haven't seen the movie in like 5 years, maybe 10 years. And I'm like, wow, now I'm gonna rewatch it again and see if I have different thoughts about it. You know, my mind is in that way. I'm like, okay, what about if I feel different about it now than I did like 10 years ago? You know, I loved it 10 years ago, and then maybe I don't like it as much now. Maybe I like it more now. Maybe I see it in a different way. Maybe I have, you know, new lessons to learn, you know, from the movie. So I definitely like doing that. And another addiction I have until this day, a lot of people are gonna be maybe a little bit surprised. Some people may not be, but it's 100% addiction for me. And, you know, my ex-girlfriend used to call me out on it all the time, you know, and that's poker, you know? And I don't know what it is. I just can't stop playing sometimes. I just can't. I have to force myself to do that. And it took me like 6 or 7 years to force myself and to convince myself that I should take 1 day off per week, because I didn't want to do that ever, you know? And whatever came up, no matter the plans that came up, I was just like, I'm playing poker. I don't care about anything else, right? This was the mindset and the attitude I have. Nothing really mattered. You know, people had to force me out to stop me, you know, from playing. Like, I would need to be forced out of the house. I'm less like that now. Like, I've controlled this addiction a little bit, but it's definitely an addiction of mine, because it's very difficult for me to, you know, pull myself away from the tables. And you can argue it's a good addiction, you know, because, you know, you make money doing that and stuff like that. But, you know, before it was a lot worse, and it caused me a lot of anxiety, where I would go on vacation and the entire time I'd be anxious, thinking I shouldn't be on this vacation. I should be playing poker. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I shouldn't be here, you know? And my mind would always be occupied with that. So I never really allowed myself to have that much fun before, you know, because I was so addicted to it. Even when I was, you know, on vacation, all I would do is think about poker and poker hands and, you know, studying or grinding or whatever it may be. It was always just in my mind. And now, I would say the biggest difference for me and how I've been able to like ease down on a lot of these things, and like including poker, I can, you know, I'm in control of that addiction now more, is through reading spiritual books, like about letting go and meditating and things like that, because that's helped me a lot to kind of detach from these things that I've had, you know, addictions to in the past. And these are just the 5 that came to mind, you know, before making this video. Obviously, I've had more, you know, addictions in my life, but yeah, these are the 5 I just wanted to quickly go through. And maybe, you know, you're watching this video and you're like, yeah, I've had some of these addictions too, and like I get how you feel, and like you just kind of get like obsessive about it, you know, let's call it. And but there's a way to tame that. You know, for me, the way I tamed it, like I said, meditation and reading these books about letting go, detaching, you know, from things and from certain ideas or whatever it may be. Like for me, like the movies, like I don't have to watch these movies over and over again. You know, I have control over that. Like I can not watch them if I want to, but I choose to watch them now. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch it, you know, but it's not a big deal. It's not like, oh, I have to do it, you know? But anyways, yeah, just wanted to share a little bit, you know, maybe you guys understand me a little bit better. The stuffed animals. Some of you guys are gonna probably comment on the stuffed animal, like he's just like, it looks like he's dying, but he's alive. He's alive and kicking. All right, so he's in good shape. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any addictions or that you guys want to share. I'd be curious to hear some of them. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.